Surinaamse ondernemers die zijn er onlangs richting Trinidad en Tobago geweest om dan daar te tonen aan wat voor producten wij hebben in Suriname. Ze zijn er terug en FAO SAMAP die dit project heeft helpen organiseren, heeft helpen begeleiden, die heeft er dan vandaag een infosessie en netwerkmiddag georganiseerd. De delegatie die deelde zijn informatie dan vandaag met andere Surinaamse ondernemers. In deze ondernemers die al geruime tijd bezig zijn op de Surinaamse markt, oftewel de exportmarkt, maar ook voor jonge ondernemers. We spraken over dit project met de heer Eric Zebayos, die er veel meer vertelt.
Yes, today we have a workshop. We call it a knowledge sharing workshop, with the purpose to facilitate a dialogue between agro producers, agro exporters that participated in an Agro Invest Forum event in Trinidad and Tobago. 2-3 weeks ago they went there and they were supported by the SAMA project to expose the products of Suriname, to present what Suriname has to offer and the potential for exports from Suriname. Now that delegation came back from Trinidad and they learned many things. They learned what are the market opportunities, which products have a potential there in the market of Trinidad, but also what are the requirements to enter the markets. What are the challenges also that needs to be overcome, and how Suriname can prepare better to participate in these events. The delegation that we supported have learned many of these things, and now we want them to share with all the other participants of the workshop their experience. Not everybody had the chance to go to Trinidad, but they have the chance to hear firsthand from those that went there what are the lessons learned from that trip to Trinidad.
Yeah. And how did FAO SAMAP support the delegation?
FAO, as part of the SAMA project, provided some resources to facilitate the transportation of the delegation. They had to bring their samples, their products. That has a cost, we supported with that, but also we facilitated meetings with the authorities, the big supermarkets in Trinidad. They had a booth that we also helped to set in Trinidad, and they were in a position to meet with a number of business people and other potential buyers for the products of Suriname. All of those activities were facilitated by the SAMA project, but again, our role is to support and facilitate. They were the ones that had the meetings, had the opportunities to interact with the supermarkets in Trinidad, learn what are the products that are more attractive for their markets, but also learn how they have to present and what are the conditions for going there.
And has there been success stories?
Yes, we've heard at least the delegation that came back came very enthusiastic about the interest in the public of Suriname, of Trinidad to into the products from Suriname. Both countries sometimes produces the same things, like they also have cassava, like here, but what they were telling us is that the consumers in Trinidad like the flavors, like the taste of the Surinamese product. So there seems to be something different there in the products from Suriname that are calling the attention in other markets. However, they also told us that they need to improve their presentation. Sometimes they use these bottles for juices here in Suriname with the label in Dutch, but then nobody knows Dutch in Trinidad. So they need to adjust a few things in order to be more effective.
And what will be the part of FAO SAMAP in this now?
Well, now our interest is to help the country through the value chain platforms that we are supporting to have this more strategic partnership between the public and the private sector to see the market opportunities, to go and present, but not to stop there, to come back and do the homework. Because when these delegations go there, they learn about the opportunities, but not often there is a follow-up. And then the homework is not completed. So maybe they have heard about very important potential deals and they are not materialized. That means homework needs to happen here. Those may be policies, regulations, certification, all of the requirements that are supported from the public sector. But the private sector also needs to do homework, improve the quantity, improve the quality of the products and the sustainability. The requests for products from Suriname are big. They need 2, 3, 5 containers, but Suriname has not been able yet to deliver at that level, in that quantity, in a regular way. That's the challenge that needs to be addressed here, and that's what we are doing with SAMAP. With the SAMAP project, we are working with all the stakeholders to address these different bottlenecks and find the solutions, of course.
The challenge is over there, Mr. Ceballos, but who will take the lead?
The lead is in both. The public sector, led by the government institutions like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Agriculture, Economic Development, they play a critical role. But from the private sector are the organizations that represent the farmers, the exporters, the processors, but the private sector in itself. Here in this workshop you have this multi-participation of all the different segments. All of them play a role. The leadership comes from Suriname. It's bottom-up, because they are waiting just for you to be ready to submit your products, to deliver the products that they are looking for. The homework is here.
Yes. After today, then there will be no sharing information, and after today, they have to network, working together.
We expect that after this exchange of knowledge, when everybody will be familiar with the opportunities and the challenges, then the value chain platforms will develop specific action plans and start to work towards those opportunities. If it is for cassava, the cassava value chain platform will start to work on what are the requirements, what are the needs, what are the changes that need to happen. If it is fruits or vegetables, likewise, the value chain platform on exports for fruits and vegetables will need to have a little plan to start to work against the tasks that they identified. SAMAP will facilitate the process.
But it is known, Mr. Ceballos, that Trinidad and Tobago is not a simple market. They, protect their own market. They protect their own producers. So are there any big chances for Suriname?
There are many barriers, as you mentioned. It's a very tough market. Competition is very tough, but that doesn't mean that Suriname cannot make it. They can, but you have to come very together, and you have to come very prepared to address those barriers. The Ministry of Agriculture has been doing a good effort, together with the other government instances, on having a dialogue at high policy level with their counterparts. Also to look in the context of CARICOM. You are part of the same CARICOM, and there are supposed to be facilities or better conditions for trade. It's not always happening, and some of those things are addressed at policy level. That part should go at the same hand of the efforts from the private sector to meet those requirements. Yeah. And that's where I think Suriname has to need to work now.
But where is Suriname standing now, Mr. Ceballos? Are we making baby steps? Are we on a crossroad? Are we on a middle road? Are we at the end?
It's hard to say. I think Suriname is in all the levels. There had been small steps. There were others that tried already and moved further. They managed to put containers in big quantities, but didn't sustain for a long time. Then COVID came, and so on and so forth. I think Suriname, what has is the drive to try. Now is the time to do it more sustainable, more organized, and more collaborative. And that will make the difference with the previous efforts. As always, there is a lead. There are businesses that are leading. Now we need to bring the others under that leadership in order to have a big push, not small push here or there.